Welcome to our seventh week of our online class. Good afternoon, everyone. Before we are going to start in our online class today, let's have a short review about our topic or lesson last week. Let's have a short review about our topic last week. It is all about awareness of different life demands. How should I deal with life demands? Our great hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, believed in the Filipino youth. He believed that you are the hope of our nation. One of his poems echoes this sentiment with these moving, inspiring words. Like example, hold high the brow severe, O youth, where now you stand. Let the bright shine fair, hope of your fatherland. Come now, thou genius grand, and bring down inspiration with thy mighty and swifter than the wind's violation. Raise the eager mind to higher station for the Filipino youth. Rizal penned the poem many decades ago, believing so much of the abilities of young people to help the nation toward progress. It may sound like a tall order, but the truth is there for you. Hold great promise in being a part of nation building. Kabibon on 1999 did study on Filipino adolescents and identified excessively an expectation for adolescents are expected to 1. Fully develop themselves, acquiring full knowledge of the changes they go through as they go physical, psychological, emotional, and social building self-esteem and confidence and maintaining healthy relationships with their parents and peers. Number two, undergo skills building, particularly in critical and analytical thinking, firm decision making, and leaderships. And number three, be fully aware of social, political, economic, and cultural issues and have the corresponding concerns. And lastly, be an active in community and political affairs. The challenges of middle and late adolescence of the life of a teenager is the life of a teenager seems to change daily. 1 minute a teen seems interested in a new sport, topic in school, or type of music, only to completely shift gears the next, constantly exposed to the new idea, social situation, and people teenagers work to develop their personalities and interested during this time of great change. Before their teenage years, these adolescents focus on school, play, and gaining approval from their parents, but now those perform goals are replaced with a desire of independence as teenagers work toward becoming young adults. These are the topic that we are discussing last week. And now, before we are proceed to our new discussion, let me first introduce myself. I'm your teacher at Personal Development, Crystal Jane Di Carrion. And once again, good morning everyone. Our objectives today's discussions are to know the different characteristics of an individual, describe the facts and the feelings, and lastly, can answer different questions. These are our objective today's lesson. positive approaches in dealing with life demands. There must be many occasions when you find yourself juggling things to accomplish certain tasks because there are so many things to do. It can be thought at times. At present, what are the things you need to deal with and accomplish? How do you deal with them? It helps to face the challenges squarely. It gives you opportunity to take better perspective, which should encourage you to find ways to manage them in more effective ways. What are the challenges in the family? There is a class song of Apo Hiking Society that speaks of the typical sentiments of parents. Some common challenges families face in addition to managing chronic pain include things like moving house, separation or divorce, parenting issues, pressures at work or school, unemployment and financial problems, illness or disability of a family member, death of a family member, drug, alcohol, gambling addiction, and domestic violence. As the structure of family changes over time, so do the challenges families face. Events like divorce and remarriage present new difficulties for families and individuals. Other long-standing domestic issues such as abuse continue to strain the health and stability of today's families. Quest for independence. Often the problem stems from the child wanting to establish identity and independence and desire of parents to continuously give guidance and protection to their children. It cannot be helped that parents set certain rules at home to assign rules and chores to do, set curfews, and even choose the company you should go with. High expectations. There is also the issue of dealing in their high expectations in terms of achievement, especially academically. Parents naturally aspire their children excel in school. For some children, it is a source of frustration if they do not succeed in meeting their parents' expectations. On the other hand, there are also children who take the expectations of their parents as the challenge, pushing them to do better in school. In fact, a study on family involvement made by Harvard Family Research Project by Harvard Graduate School of Education in 2004 revealed that parents' expectation may raise children's achievements. The concept of high expectation is premised on the philosophical and pedagogical belief that a failure to hold all students to high expectation effectively denies. In education, the term high expectations or the phrase common high expectations typically refers to any effort to set the same high educational standards for all students in a class, school, or education system. Access to a high quality education, since the educational achievement of students tends to rise or fall in direct relation to the expectation placed upon them. In other words, students who are expected to learn more or perform better generally those while those held to lower expectations usually achieve less. The effect that expectations can have on performance, commonly called the Pygmalion Effect, has been exhaustively researched and documented in a variety of fields. In education, the seminal work of Robert Rosenthal and Leonard Jacobson, published in their 1968 book Pygmalion in the Classroom, is considered the first major attempt to document the parent effective rather the teacher expectation have on student performance. In many ways, the concept of high expectations is not just an educational or instructional issue, but also an ethical and social justice issue. The basic idea is that lowering expectations for certain groups only exacerbates and perpetuates the condition that cause or contribute to lower educational, professional, financial, or cultural achievement and success. The concept of high expectations could be seen as an antipode to the often heard phrase, the soft bigotry of low expectation, which refers to the lowering of expectations, either intentionally or unintentionally, for certain students groups such as minorities, low-income students, special education students, English language learners, and other groups that have historically underperformed or underachieved. In education, the way to break their self-perpetuating is cycle of low expectations. It is believed is to raise academic expectations and make sure all students receive the assistance they need to reach those high expectations. Making career choices, sometimes choosing a college course or career can become an issue. It happens when the parents' career plan for their child is different from what the child actually wants. Relationship issues, many parents believe that getting in an exclusive relationship should be the less of their child's priorities at this point. Hence, conflict arises at times when they find out that their child is in a relationship, fearing that it will be negatively affect their child's concentrations in school. Communicate openly. Sometimes parents may tend to overlook your plans and way of doing things, probably because they are unsure of what you want to do in life. Your communication skills will play an important role in expressing your thoughts and feelings. How to dealing with family expectation. The first one is the communicate openly. Many leaders have an open door policy, but there is a difference between having an open people actually walking inside. Even seemingly trivial, small signs show people that you are want to hear what they have to say. To show that you are paying attention, try the following. Number one, eliminate distraction. Put your electronic devices on silent mode. Turn them face down or turn them off. Make eye contact. Postpone the discussion if you can have it right now. Practice active listening. Paying attention shows people that you are interested in listening and encouraging open communication. Encourage open communication by asking for suggestions. Understand your parents. In some instances, you may find yourself in disagreement with your parents, which leads to conflict. Parents often say adolescents generally feel invincible, as though nothing bad could possibly happen to them. You may think the world is at your feet to enjoy. Remember that parents are not always trying to spoil your fun. They are just normally protective. Be responsible. Expectations do not only come from your parents. Your siblings and even close relatives may also have expectations from you. Sharing household chores with your siblings are common expectation. Do not forget that you need to do part at home. Remember that responsibility is the twin of independence. Independence is not a reason to relinquish your role in the family. Social demands. School life takes so much of your time and energy. You spend the greater part of the day in school and still carry many requirements when you get home and even on weekends. Admittedly, there are times when the demands can really be a challenge. A key to better management of schoolwork is making use of your time wisely. You will find out how good time management skills will prove valuable in college and life in general. Major reasons why time management problems occur include poor planning, poor organizational skills, delaying, procrastinating, and low need for achievement. Low self-esteem and high level of anxiety may also make it more difficult for you to accomplish tasks. If you do not believe that you are capable of doing something, accomplishing the task may delay because you will struggle against your own self belief, and your low self confidence will also lower down your standards. The same thing may happen if anxiety gets in the way. Anxiety tempers your energy to do things. Instead of focusing on doing the task, your worries, nervousness, concern take your attention from what need to be done. Here are some time management tips to help you. List down your activities. What are the things you need to do? Or prioritize. Ask yourself which ones are important and urgent. You may want to write your activities in a grid based on priorities. Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, developed a time management grid to organize priorities. Here is a sample matrix based on Convey's or Covey's book to help you organize your school activities and prioritize your accomplishment of them. To act or perform in a certain way. If the person is unable to perform accordingly to the demands of a situation, the pressure emerges. If the pressure is channelized and person is able to perform the task, then the pressure is normal stress, positive stress, or eustress, or we may say it is something good that out of the pressure of stress the person is able to perform better. There is so demand on the individual to do few things that if a person is not capable of doing, then the person starts feeling the stress or the pressure. If this pressure is prolonged, it may transform into stress. If a stress is putting something positive on you to do something in a given period of time, it is called eustress, and eustress is something good because it makes you able to achieve something. If you achieve something, you feel good about it. But if the stress is too much, you will have negative consequences on your health, on your person as a whole, and on your work performance. The same situation may be stressful for one person but may not be stressful for the other person depending on the personality type. People handle stress differently. This leads to two types of stress. The two types of stress are the negative stress and the positive stress. What are they? Peer challenges. Peer challenges are managed and delivered by the sector for the sector. They are improvement focused. The scope will be agreed with the council and tailored to reflect their local needs and specific requirements. The peer team will involve peers from across the sector and beyond. Peer pressure. Peer pressure is the direct influence on people by peers or the effect of an individual who gets encouraged to follow their peers by changing their attitudes, values, or behaviors to conform to those of their influencing group or individual. This can result in either a positive or negative effect or both. Social groups affected include both membership groups, in which individuals are formally members, and cliques, in which membership is not clearly defined. However, a person does not need to be a member or be seeking membership of a group to be effective by peer pressure. Peer pressure can decrease one's confidence. Peer conflict. There are several ways to identify peer conflict. When a conflict occurs, everyone involved has equal power in the relationship. Both individuals might be emotional and upset, but neither is seeking control or attention. They also are respectful of each other even though they disagree. How to manage conflict with peers. Life is full of struggles with peers at work. Everybody has flaws, but when seriously flawed people are part of your work environment, conflict can arise. Settle agreements before they escalate to a serious workplace problem. There are ways to come to an understanding that can resolve any grift, opening up, and considering the other people is all that is needed. Ask your peers what is bothering them. In any conflict, people have at least one issue, and this problem is often not communicated. Asking for clarity will at least shed some light on the situation so you can deal with it. Try to find an agreement. If you're struggling with working relationships, try to establish that all parties involved still want to be working together. Discuss the problem in a calm manner and use inclusive words such as we. You will resolve more peer conflicts if you see something like we should work this out instead of you guys and I better settle this. Avoid emphasizing your peers' character traits that annoy you. Focus on what they are saying instead of how they smell, sound, or look. They often can't help their annoying characteristics, but they do have control over their words. Explain how each person could benefit if there was no conflict. If there is something you need from the peer, suggest that you will be able to help them in the future. Try not to be stubborn. If you're able to reach a compromise, you might be able to come to a better agreement. For example, tell your coworkers they can have time to share their opinions, but they must wait for you to finish speaking and you will be the same for them. Try not to be stubborn. If you're able to reach compromise, you might be able to come to a better agreement. For example, tell your coworkers they can have time to share their opinions, but they must wait for you to finish speaking and you will be do the same for them. Take your problem to a third party for resolution. For example, if at your business meetings your peers continue to interrupt each other and no logical pattern of discussion flows, you could bring your boss into the next meeting as a mediator. She may be able to identify the fallacies and improve peer relations for the nature's conflict resolutions. Conflict resolutions in a workplace full of people with different backgrounds, experiences, work priorities, and deadlines, conflict is inevitable. This video teaches employees how to resolve conflict with others directly, respectfully, and effectively. Preview the entire video free on this page. If prompted, follow the steps to log in or sign up for access to the full-length preview. Right/wrong to win/win. Peer-to-peer conflict resolutions. Right/wrong to win/win is a practical and engaging conflict training field that teaches people how to move from a mindset of I am right, you are wrong, to a place of mutual understanding and collaboration. It helps people in conflict see that it's never you against me, it's always us against the problem. The film introduces an easy to remember 5-step process that applies to any conflict. Step 1, step away, prepare, focus on the problem, not to the person. Step 4, meet face to face. And step 5, seek a win/win solution. This process enables any two employees to communicate their way to finding a win-win solution, thereby lessening the need for conflict mediator such as a supervisor or manager. In addition of this, the 5-step process, the video features a highly relatable pair-to-pair complex scenario and fun graphics. How to issue right or wrong to win or win is perfect as a self-study, a small group study, or an instructor to lead training session. An accompanying leader's guide, which includes a conflict style questionnaire, PowerPoint presentations, and pocket reminder card, are provided. Employers should create a workplace culture in which managing conflict is viewed as a core job competency regardless of the employee's role in the organization. For inquiries, you may click the link https://gaitf.sims/lcms or you may contact at 0975-27-08093 or 0951-30-32796. Thank you for listening and God bless us all. I'm Miss Quesel Jane Dicarion, your teacher at Personal Development. Once again, thank you and good morning everyone.